Netanyahu humiliated again? Iran's Proxy steals from IDF twice, exposing a fresh security lapse. Hamas steals Israel's gear right under IDF troops' nose in Gaza, raising serious questions over battlefield security. A second Hamas heist in just 1 week leaves Netanyahu facing another setback as Israel's security concerns grow. IDF equipment now in Hamas hands? Israel warns of a deadly booby trap plot using gear allegedly stolen from its forces. Israel's Gaza defenses exposed. Could Hamas be plotting another October 7th style attack using captured military equipment? Hamas testing Israel's red line? Trump's team reportedly rushes Jared Kushner to Gaza talks as tensions escalate. Is Bibi's ceasefire policy giving Hamas a free hand in Gaza, allowing the group to exploit gaps in Israeli defenses? Fresh tensions are brewing between Israeli forces and Hamas in the Gaza Strip, raising concerns over renewed confrontation. Hamas operatives have allegedly stolen IDF drilling equipment in southern Gaza again, marking another reported security breach. This is reportedly the second time Hamas operatives have engineered a heist within just 1 week, deepening Israeli concerns. Israeli officials are reportedly concerned that Hamas may rig the stolen equipment with explosives and turn it into a deadly trap. The IDF allegedly claimed Hamas could return the rigged equipment to the battlefield in an attempt to kill Israeli soldiers. On August 16th, a group of Hamas operatives were reportedly spotted stealing ground drilling materials during the operation. However, Israeli troops reportedly did not open fire on the Hamas operatives despite the alleged theft. Another Hamas cell was also reportedly spotted operating beyond the yellow line during ongoing IDF operations. Last week, Hamas operatives were reportedly seen crossing the yellow zone to steal equipment from Israeli positions. More than 65 yellow line incursions by Hamas were reportedly recorded within 2 weeks, according to Channel 14. The number of reported crossings has allegedly tripled since the ceasefire with Israel, raising fresh security concerns. A senior Israeli official alleged that Hamas may be preparing a major attack against IDF forces in the Gaza Strip. But the IDF denied that any incursions or equipment robberies were carried out by Hamas, according to Channel 14. Israeli troops stationed along the Gaza border are warning of fresh armed activity inside the Strip, raising new concerns about possible preparations for further attacks. The soldiers say they have observed gunmen operating in the area, while also reporting that explosives are being placed near the so-called Yellow Line, increasing fears of renewed violence. The Yellow Line divides areas of Gaza that are under Israeli control from those controlled by Hamas, making the reported activity particularly sensitive for troops stationed nearby. Some Israeli soldiers say the situation feels eerily similar to the period leading up to the October 7, 2023, Hamas-led attack, when warning signs were reportedly building before the assault began. Before the 2023 attack, Israeli surveillance troops had warned their superiors about Hamas training and preparations that appeared to be connected to a potential large-scale assault. Israeli surveillance soldiers had also reported suspicious Hamas movements and explosive-related activity, describing developments that they believed could indicate preparations for an imminent attack. According to a report by the Times of Israel, many of those warnings were not acted upon in time, raising questions about how seriously the intelligence was treated before the October 7th attack. Now, Israeli soldiers fear that their latest alerts about Hamas activity could once again be ignored, potentially allowing warning signs to go unaddressed until it is too late. One of Israel's surveillance soldiers said, and I quote, "I feel just like on October 6th. What's the difference? That we're identifying it on the yellow line and not on the border fence. That's the difference. We're really seeing that they know we won't fire on them. The Gazans aren't idiots. In the end, they're constantly testing us and seeing if we react or not. It's just like before October 7th. Feel a little unnecessary. If I know that, in any case, they won't do anything with my identification of terror activity, what's the point of my sitting 8 hours a day and monitoring the area super closely?" Unquote. One Israeli surveillance soldier said she feels helpless while watching what she describes as suspected terrorist activity taking place across the border, with concerns growing that the reported movements could pose a serious threat. Another soldier said the troops can feel unnecessary when the information they identify and report does not appear to result in immediate action, leaving them questioning whether their warnings are being taken seriously. The soldiers say Israeli combat troops are positioned only hundreds of meters away from suspected operatives, meaning any escalation or armed activity could potentially place frontline forces in immediate danger. One surveillance soldier warned that those combat troops could be exposed to serious risks if Israel fails to respond to the reported activity, particularly if the intelligence being gathered is not quickly translated into action. The report comes as US-backed efforts continue to push for Hamas to disarm in Gaza, adding another layer of tension to an already fragile security situation and raising questions about the prospects for lasting calm. Donald Trump is expanding his outreach across the Middle East as Hamas, Iran, and a group of Islamic allies take on a more prominent role in Washington's regional diplomacy. Jared Kushner reportedly met Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi to discuss the war in Gaza, humanitarian concerns, and other issues affecting the wider Middle East. Kushner also held a rare meeting in Egypt with Khalil al-Hayya, a senior Hamas political figure, in an effort that could signal a new and highly sensitive diplomatic channel. These discussions come as Israel continues its military operations across the Gaza Strip, with the conflict generating growing international criticism and increasing pressure on US policymakers. At the same time, Iranian official Qasem Gharibabadi accused Israel of imposing a nightly quota for killings in Gaza, a serious allegation that Israel would be expected to reject or address. Against this backdrop, Trump praised Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Pakistan after the three countries signed the Mecca Joint Defense Agreement. Trump said the new defense arrangement demonstrated that Middle Eastern and Islamic nations were beginning to come together to defend themselves and protect their shared interests. He also argued that the three countries could develop more effective regional solutions through the new pact, potentially reducing dependence on outside powers to manage the Middle East security crises.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you'll have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.